EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to one of the great cities of the world, London, England. Coming up, another installment of the NFL International Series, and it should be a great one, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Cleveland Browns.
To kick off for the Vikings.
Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis, ready for another installment of the NFL International Series. And we are underway from North London. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Hey, look at this defense for the Vikings. This unit, 3rd best in the NFL in stopping the run.
I still crack up a little bit after we left our meeting with the defensive coordinator, because I said to you, stop me if you've heard this before. How about him saying, well, first order of business, we got to stop the run. Of course you do. He's got a good unit, but facing the #1 rushing team, they have to stop that in order to have a good performance.
And he's going to get this all the way down to the Vikings' 9. 56 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
Well, he currently stands 2nd in the league in rushing, and runs like that are a big reason why. Heck, runs like that might get him to 1st.
And when you've got goals in front of you, if you're 2nd and you want to be 1st, that type of running gives you something to shoot for and hopefully attain.
And that's going to be caught for the Browns. Touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year.
And the Browns march right down the field in 3 plays to claim the early advantage.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away.
Here's Isaiah Rodgers to return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
Looking to put a drive together.
They run for the first time with Ty Chandler.
And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all.
They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
To the air with McCarthy. Drops this underneath for Chandler.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
Give him 22 there on the 3rd down conversion. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 38.
McCarthy, he'll set to throw it.
He finds his man, complete. That's Chandler. And he'll go out of bounds. Inside the 15-yard line. That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive.
Well, we know he can run the football too, but he's a good pass catcher, and that's been on display here, Charles, on this opening drive.
And we certainly have seen the benefits of what he did in the offseason, which was spend more time with wide receivers, working on routes, working on cuts, in order to make himself a more complete running back and even more of a threat downfield.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Next receivers help spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Here's McCarthy. He's got his running back out of the backfield.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
Well, you have to be aware defensively that you've got 2 goals, because obviously you're trying to prevent the touchdown, but you're also trying to keep it from getting a first down as well. That time they weren't up to the task, and it's 1st and goal.
There's Addison. Touchdown, Vikings.
A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year.
And the Vikings respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own.
Extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 7.
Will Reichard to kick off for the Vikings.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown. And the last time out, looking to repeat that, Charles' defense, they were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. You look at this defense for the Vikings.
This unit against the pass, hoping to get better for sure. Number 25 in the NFL right now.
What they lack in pass defense, they do make up for in run defense. They're a top 10 unit against the people trying to move the ball on the ground. But this is a passing league, so there's a conundrum for them. How do they get better defending the pass?
And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
Come on.
At the 42-yard line.
To throw is Sanders.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Jonathan Greenard running in to pick up the sack.
And it's 3rd down. 3rd and long.
7-7, our score after one. The start of the second quarter, and it's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a third down and long coming up. So certainly in a pickle here. They have a mile to go to try to pick up the first. We'll see what they've drawn up. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Here is third and quite a ways.
Let's go now. Warriors 70. Go.
From the gun, it's Sanders. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's fourth down. On fourth down, Corey Bojorquez gets set to punt for Cleveland. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And they won't get a chance to bring this one back. It goes out of bounds, back near their own 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. Now a handoff to Chandler. Fighting down past the 45. And he will be taken down, but not before he gets this to the Browns' 29-yard line. 39 yards there, a big one. Perfect execution on that inside handoff, and then a little will, a little brute strength to move forward after the contact.
What do we call that now in today's NFL? Heck, in today's football? Contact balance, right? That's the buzzword, the phrase you hear. A back who can absorb contact, bounce off of it, and keep moving. Just what you said, brute strength, force of will.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
Let's go now. 7-5. 19 right.
Throwing is McCarthy. That is into the hands of Hockenson downfield. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
Here we go. Set. Bronco switch. Hawk 70. Hawk 70. Street.
Now Chandler. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pick up of 3.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
Ready. 70. Panther 11.
Now they empty the backfield and motion the man left. Now he's going to step up and run. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, Brandon, we see why it's a team game there because there's a sigh of relief that they just released defensively. If he's able to get that one away, that's likely a touchdown. But instead, that pressure from the front got to him and forced the incompletion.
You're right. He had him open just a split second too late on the release.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. Right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. T.J. Hockenson, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Vikings have taken the lead. Now the try here for the point after. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game.
Makes the score Vikings 14, Browns 7.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here.
20-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before it's taken down. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
That turned into a very well orchestrated play right there. Going to work his way out of the backfield to the right, and after he looked it in, he found plenty of space to roam and picked up big yardage.
On first down, they'll go to the ground to take it. On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. 72 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
There's a short one caught by Fannin. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Rookie to rookie on the hook up there, and it's a first down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there, and if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Come on. 60,
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. Now he's able to break through one tackle, but it slowed him down enough that he could only manage getting back to the line of scrimmage.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the Vikings' 28-yard line.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. Now a 2nd and 10.
60 Bison.
Throwing, Sanders. And
He's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
First down.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
19 Tiger, 19 Tiger.
Now they'll change things around before the snap.
Cowboy 80. Panther 60, Panther 60.
And now we've got flags down. Looked like one of the Browns might have moved. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Here we go, set. Viking 18. Viking 18.
And here's a handoff out of the gun.
Trying to get out wide, but he's going to be tackled right near the line of scrimmage.
Harrison Smith.
The tackle goes to Harrison Smith.
No gain on the play. Brings up
Now
second
keep in
and
mind, if you're
15.
thinking of staying on the ground, this is a top 5 rush defense.
Yeah, but I don't think you shy away totally with the run. At least show them the hint of a run before you decide to throw the football.
Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
12 yards on
A nice
the
chunk
pickup.
play from the
It's
tight
now
end
3rd
position, and
and
it illustrates the cohesiveness that he and his quarterback have. Both saw the extra defender doubling him up, and they still combined for the completion and big gain.
2. Bronco 80.
From the gun on 3rd down, Sanders gets this over the middle to Tillman.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland.
Cedric Tillman.
A 7-yard touchdown grab.
And the Browns are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the 1st half.
And now it's blocked. And now off to the races down the right side. And he dives into the end zone and gets the 2 points.
That is a play that you just do not see very often, maybe a couple times a year. The blocked extra point return for 2.
You can't afford to give anyone a free run at the kicker. Oftentimes, it's going to bounce off his hands or chest and head the other direction.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 20.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Looking to throw McCarthy.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he lost the football.
And this ball recovered by the offense, but remember, they cannot advance it here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So this will be blown dead, and it'll come back to the spot of the fumble. McCarthy. To the right side and complete to Jefferson. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as they get it right at the 30-second mark of this first half. In need of only about the length of the football here on second down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get it right at the 30-second mark of this first half. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on second and inches.
60 Bison, 60 Bison.
Looking to throw. McCarthy. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time.
Ready? Panther 60, Panther 60. Warrior 70.
Back to throw again. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
A gain of 9 yards. And the Vikings first down.
Let's go.
The final shot before break. McCarthy. And he just throws this one away. That was a bit strange, and here comes the flag. We saw it, too. Nobody in the vicinity of that throw, and that earns him the penalty.
Yeah, you got to at least get it close enough to one of your own guys in order to dodge the penalty.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly second and long.
Cougar 19. Let's go.
The final shot before break. McCarthy. That's going to be caught. And he's going to be taken down, but he has the first down on a well-executed double pass. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Set, ready. 18 card.
throwing to start the drive.
McCarthy. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
They geared up and took the deep shot downfield, but it turned out it wasn't one-on-one coverage. Extra defenders in the area, and that one winds up incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Back to throw.
McCarthy. Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
There go play action. Here's McCarthy. He'll try and do this himself.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
So since that last play got nothing, they'll go ahead and decline the penalty, and that forces a 4th down situation. And here's Ryan Wright now,
as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon.
And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Amazing. Perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
The Browns drive about to get started. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
Here we go.
Sanders to throw.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 10-yard line. Trying to escape the shadow of their goalpost. That helped. 10 yards. First down. Well, now they'll try the end around. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Here's Sanders. Left side, he's got the tight end, Fannin. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30. 19 yards the pick up there. Move the chains.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. 95 yards rushing for him now as his fine rookie season continues.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
There's a short one caught by Fannin.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
From a couple of yards beyond midfield, here's 2nd and 8. Sanders.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete.
There he goes, left side. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A big play there. 48 yards. And the Browns have retaken a third-quarter lead. Well, Charles, kind of the future of this franchise on display right there. You had a rookie throwing it, a rookie catching it, and taking it into the end zone.
Could you imagine if we were in the owner's box right now and we could look at the front office and see the grins on their faces, to see the present making plays and knowing what the future will bring with these youngsters going out and making big-time moments happen for this team.
Extra point right down the middle. And that will make this a 4-point game. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away.
And this one over the back line of the end zone. Well, they definitely don't want to give him a shot at returning it. That's obvious. So the ball will come out to the 30.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
Second and 4. Looking deep downfield. It's caught inside the 25.
The penalties don't usually hurt as much as that one does. That is a monster gain wiped out by the flag.
And you and I both know that an offense only gets a couple of those big moments in a normal game. You've got to take advantage of them. When you give one away because of an avoidable penalty, that's a major disadvantage. Just steals away every bit of momentum you just generated with that play.
And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert. Don't jump early and give them free yardage.
Looking to throw. McCarthy.
And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Back to throw. McCarthy.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have the Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 44-yard line. Oh, design run for their wideout. And bulldozing his way through.
Still going.
Touchdown, Vikings!
Jordan Addison, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings have taken the lead here in this 3rd quarter. So that, Charles, his 2nd touchdown of the ballgame. He had the more standard receiving touchdown earlier. This time he finds the end zone in the run game.
Yeah, it's almost as if he said, well, that's how I normally do it. That's almost boring. Give me another opportunity. This time I'll use my legs only and get into the end zone.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And
this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
35-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. The last time out, they had to march almost the full length of the field for their touchdown. So here, much easier, Charles, with this better starting field position.
I love your sarcasm, but I love even more your observation because, look, what they did last time out, now with a shorter field, they should have a lot of confidence that they're going to put more points up on the board.
A good action to this point in the third quarter, just a 3-point game, 2nd and 10. From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line.
Now 3rd down and 7. To throw now, here's Sanders. Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown.
A great play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Browns have answered back with a third-quarter touchdown of their own to retake the lead.
Point after, right down the middle. And that will make this a 4-point game.
23.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Bringing it out of his end zone, Isaiah Rodgers. And not a great decision to bring it out there as he's tackled just beyond the 10.
At their own 12-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around.
It leads to
I may be an analyst, but I'm also a fan. I love it when people take the big shots downfield, but he was under a lot of duress. And I think that forced the incompletion downfield. Didn't have a real good chance to find his target.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10.
70 Lions, 7 Pirates, 70 Rings, 70 Rings.
Working out of the gun is McCarthy. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10.
60 Eagles, 60 Eagles.
And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. 3rd down from the gun, McCarthy. And he'll only get this to the 14 as he'll come up well short of the 1st down. And here's Ryan Wright now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And it's fielded at the 34. Oh, look at the juke. And he'll take a shot at the end of that one, and they'll begin right there.
at their own 48-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started.
They have played so strongly. You look at the scoreboard, you probably, with the way they played, you would think the margin would be a lot bigger, right?
You would, and in your experience, how many times have we run into coaches where they've talked about, hey, we just want to put it in the hands of our defense and have them win the game? In this case,
not the case.
Not at all. You want to put it in the hands of your offense, but you always feel better about saying defense because you think defense is a constant and offense kind of comes and goes. Today, this game, no, they need their offense to stay on a really hot level.
They've been hot so far. Welcome back now here in London. It's the Browns football, and they've got the lead here as we start quarter number 4.
Okay, ready?
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Now Sanders. Will get this complete to Tillman. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Brings up 3rd and 6.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Shador. Right in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 20-yard line.
That's good for a Browns 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Hands it off out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense. I think in the future, if you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
From the shotgun, Sanders. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And the throw there going to be incomplete. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
Well, you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers get together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time this week to try and improve that passing percentage, and it's worked out quite well.
From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
And running with power here. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. This one brought in by Jefferson. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one good for 37 yards.
This is what made the West Coast offense a staple around the NFL in the 80s and 90s. You don't have to push the ball deep downfield to come up with big plays, and there's an example of that right there.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 32-yard line. Here's McCarthy. This one swung out here to Jones. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
3rd and
crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing.
70 Lions.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
So they hadn't called on him at all until this point, but he comes through here and buries one from long range.
Yeah, that's awfully impressive because usually kickers like to get that first one out of their system in the first quarter, sort of get them into the flow of the game, but to come in this late and knock it down from long distance, give him a lot of credit.
And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Their own 35-yard line.
Ready.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with no less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs, and the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Here's a 2nd and 8.
Cougar 19.
Throwing, Sanders. And that's going to be incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. To throw is Sanders. And that's incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
At their own 20-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Boy, here's a big one. You can just feel it. This is 3rd down now. Open man, that's Felton. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. Now let's listen in on the call. Too far downfield, something those linemen have to watch out for, and that time it costs them. A big play needed, no doubt. 3rd and long.
Let's go now.
He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
They'll indeed go. Here's McCarthy. He'll try to do it himself. And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. And that disastrous play, partner, is ultimately going to seal their fate in this one, isn't it?
It certainly is, because they give up the 2 points, but that's not really what did it. It's having to give up the football. And because they gave up the football, guess what? The other team now can take the ball and close this game out.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's going to pull his way forward to the 48. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Let's go. 19, 18, 18, right here. Go.
From the gun on 3rd down, Sanders.
And he is caught. And he will have a Browns 1st down. It has been a struggle, but it's looking like that'll be the one to seal a victory.
Quite the turnaround from a week ago where he threw 4 interceptions. He hasn't had an interception this game, and he told us during the week, my goal, goose egg. He's achieving that so far.
And what we're seeing is a guy that you can win with, all right? Because anyone who can make that type of an adjustment to shake off a really horrendous week the week before and come back and play mistake-free football to this point, yeah, that's a guy I want to play with, that's for sure.
So no shortage of offense in this game, but a very clean game too, Charles. Each side got its points, but they did so without committing a single turnover.
That's so true, and it certainly felt like NFL football at its finest, right? You talk about the highest level from both of these offenses. Neither one of them afraid of taking risks, and both of them aggressively pushing it downfield. I did like, Brandon, how smart they were about going about their business, though. They were high-flying, but they took care of the ball.
Yeah, they did. And just keeping it clean in a game like this with all these points, you don't see that very often, even at the highest level. Job well done by both sides.
So for the Browns, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1. And now it's off to Heathrow as they get set to fly back to the U.S. in a couple hours. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And perhaps fortunately for them, they'll get an early bye next week and come back to action in Week 7.